Welcome to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. If you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
You know, the size of your business grows to the size that you grow. So go to Safeway right now, get one case of Twinkies and start pounding them. Is that what I mean?
No.
No, not your waist size.
Stay away from the Twinkies.
No. What I mean is the internal. The internal version of you needs to be in a constant state of growth. Followers of leaders. Here is your number one tip. Never follow a leader that is not growing. Leaders, here's your number one tip. Never expect followers to follow you if you're not growing. Where did I get that from? Your business grows to the extent that you do. What is that from?
That's a bold law.
Bold law, business objective, life by design. That's part of our training program for our team. And guess what? 80-90% of those principles that have helped us be extremely successful in real estate are the same for your personal and any other kind of business, no matter what the product or service. So, we thank you to Colette. Who's Colette?
She is the owner or operating principal of Keller Williams here in Hawaii.
And, you know, we're like nerds like her. We're part of the nerd herd, and we like doing what? Reading books. And so growing. we don't give each other like one 6-pack of Corona for gifts or gift cards to Starbucks. We give each other books.
Yes.
And so in my opinion, you know, you can say it's your opinion because nobody can refute it. It's your opinion. In my opinion, one of the best leaders for leadership, one of the best coaches, persons to listen to and get some knowledge from is who, Adrienne?
John Maxwell.
John Maxwell. He wrote 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And then Colette gave us this. Read it out loud.
The Maxwell Daily Reader.
The Daily Reader.
The Daily Reader.
The Daily Reader. So I want to share with you and it starts from January 1. You're supposed to read it every day, but we got it now. It's September. Are you reading yours?
Yes, but it should be starting in September, not in January.
I'm starting from the beginning of the book. I don't care. You know what? I'm a leader. I'm going to start from the beginning of the book. That's how I'm leading myself.
Do that.
Anyway, page 9, January 7th, in the future, coming back to real time now, it's called the law of influence, and it connects to what I was talking about in the beginning of the show. The true measure of leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. True leadership cannot be awarded or appointed or assigned. It only comes from the influence, and that cannot be mandated. It must be earned. The proof of leadership is found in the followers. So why do some people emerge as leaders while others can't influence no matter how hard they try? What does John Maxwell say? He says, I believe can you read that?
There's several factors.
All right, so
character.
Character is who you are. Next one, go.
Relationships.
And the next line. Right
knowledge.
Here. No.
Relationships, who they know.
Knowledge, what they know.
Intuition, what they feel.
Experience, where they've been.
Past success, what they've done.
Ability, what they can do. And there's an old leadership proverb that he goes to share in here. He who thinks he leads but has no followers is only taking a walk. So in your leadership of your organization, are you leading people or are you just taking a walk? That's our question for today. By the way, you're like, Attilio, is there a way that you could come and speak in our organization or company and do an hour-and-a-half training on what it means to have an ideal player in our organization?
An ideal team player.
An ideal team player? Yes. Ideal team players are humble, hungry, smart. By the way, those are the 3 attributes of the people we're looking at for our next career night, which is when?
Yeah, so we decided to do one more before the end of the year. It's going to be on November 3rd at our office. The last one was very successful. There was
20 plus people there.
There was not even any more room to sit down. We had to bring in extra chairs.
If you came in late, you got to stand up. But anyway, we're doing another career night. It's easy to remember. HawaiiCareerNight.com. HawaiiCareerNight.com.
November 3rd.
November 3rd. We'll remind you, text you, call you. We'll kick your front door in, drag you down to the career night. But what we're going to talk, and what do we talk about in this career night?
Oh, we talk about all sorts of things, but mainly those questions that come up as far as
how much time?
How long is it going to take?
What kind of money?
What does it cost? like how do I become a successful agent, like those kind of things, because in the school teaches you how to pass the test.
And by the way,
they don't really teach you how to do the business.
The number one real estate school we recommend, shout out to Abe Lee, he's the godfather of the business, been in this business for a long time, a kind person, and a great teacher. I was looking up his stats, and I believe it to be true that half of all the people that go through real estate school, even though there's 12 of them, go through Abe Lee's courses. And I believe that.
I believe that.
Okay, what you got for us?
I have the deal of the week.
Hold on. This is the Deal of the Week Sunset. Deal of the Week Sunset. This is located at 5975
Deal of the Week Sunset Beach.
Hoa Lua Street.
It is a new price at just under $4 million, $3,999,000.
Yep.
4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,700 square feet.
Your ultimate North Shore lifestyle retreat, complete with private beach access and iconic surf steps away.
There's an updated kitchen with modern appliances and an open floor plan, perfect for entertaining.
Expansive front lawn and spacious back deck for oceanfront relaxation, sunset views.
There's an outdoor shower for that true coastal living experience after a day in the surf.
So you don't get all the sand in the house. Direct access to North Shore bike path, walk to or ride to Ted's Bakery. Three tables and more. Those are the name of beaches.
Also a co-ownership. Now we've had Dean Otto on a couple times talking about this Kohana co-ownership. So you could own this home for $1,050,000.
Yeah, and you own a part of it as a co-ownership program. And by the way, it's not fractional ownership. Anyway, we've got an open house happening
both Saturday and Sunday.
Yes. 2 to 5. Come out, check out the open house, bring your boogie board, whatever, your beach chairs, come hang out in front of the house. Come get some free water, some free sodas, drinks. We'll have that all there. Don't miss this chance to own a rare piece of the North Shore paradise, blending comfort, adventure, and breathtaking scenery. Check out, we just made a video over by Ethan, and it's all over our social media. It's pretty cool. Check it out.
That's right. All right. So, do you want to share some more open houses, or I want to share some reviews. Our team's been really great at getting
Here's
these
the deal,
reviews
folks.
lately.
We always say that we're really good at the way that we serve our clients, but don't take our word for it. Check out our reviews. How many reviews do we have on our Google page?
I think last that I checked, we were at 814.
Yeah.
We're quickly approaching 1,000.
Yeah.
So this latest review is from Brandon.
Yeah.
And this is for one of our newer agents. You want?
And are you going to read it?
I'm taking.
I'm over here doing something. Read it.
Okay.
Read it.
Okay. So Kaleolani Mendolea was so kind and patient when we discussed home buying options. I had so many questions, and she did not only did all the research for us, she assured me that she would be by our side even after our purchase. I feel safe having her by our side going through this new adventure.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, if you're a business owner out there, highly recommend you focus on Google reviews, not any of the other reviews. Just focus on Google, because still, statistically, 27% of the people doing searches in the world are doing it on Google. And then you're saying, well, what about the AI? Well, now you get an AI response on Google. So focus on your reviews as a business owner. Be intentional of it. When we started being intentional about it, we had probably 300 something reviews. And then we got to 800 because we just got more intentional about it. And if you want to have a quick phone call with us on our game plan and strategy for getting your Google reviews up for your business, all you got to do is send us an email, info@teamlally.com, info@teamlally.com. Happy to schedule a free 20-minute Zoom coaching call or conference call with you on the strategies that we've implemented to get us to 800 5-star reviews. What's next?
All right. We've got a local market update for August.
For August. So this is August 2025. Thank you to the Honolulu Board of Realtors, of which we are proud members, for supplying these stats every month. And it's always going to be on two situations. It's always going to be on condos and single family homes, and you're going to get the median price. What is the median price? What does that mean, median price?
So median price, half sold above, half sold below. And so for single family homes in the month of August, the median sale price was $1,105,500.
Yeah, and so let's call it 1-1. And then for condos, it's 515,000. But here's the deal with these median sale prices. What is that? I'm a consumer. Either I want to buy or sell something. What does this median price mean to me?
That you're probably going to be spending around that amount, depending on where you're at on the island, because it's like really different parts of the island have different prices. But these are just the homes that were sold in August that half sold above, half sold below.
Well, and here's the year-over-year information that they have for that. Home sales are up 2.4%, but condo sales are down 2.5%. And if we were real estate economists, we're going to say that why are condo sales down year over year?
Because the maintenance fees are up. And in some cases, these maintenance fees have doubled or even tripled.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I think it's made making those sales a little bit more challenging, or maybe there's a special assessment. People are a little bit more nervous about going into a condo market.
These are general statistics. These are median things. These are the overall marketplace. That would be like saying, I live out in Makaha and the weather report that I'm getting for today is going to be the same as if I was in Kaneohe. No. You have the overall general weather report, which we just provided for you, but the weather, and you guys know this from living on in the Hawaiian Islands, we have the windward and leeward side, and it's different weather patterns. If you're on the Big Island and you're listening to us, there's you got snow, you got hotter than Hades, you got the beach, you got dry, you got green,
you got everything.
You got every microclimate on the planet on one island. So just like on the different communities, you need to be aware of what's going on in your community. And how do you get that, Adrienne?
Well, you can call us.
It's easy.
Yes.
What's the number?
799-9596. Or if you go onto our website, we do have a very easy tool to learn more about what's actually happening in your neighborhood.
Speaking of islands that have a microclimates and all kinds similar to the Big Island, it's the next Big Island. The next Big Island. Maybe that's the new name for Maui, next Big Island, but Maui no Ko'oi. And speaking of that, we have
Mr. Maui.
We have Mr. Maui, Randy. He is 5 times Mr. Universe champion for all of Maui. When he flexes, people are like, ooh, but you know what he's flexing? His real estate knowledge.
That's right.
Of the Maui.
Yes.
Randy, how long you live on Maui?
Aloha, you all. Thanks for that amazing introduction.
Yes. How long have you lived on Maui?
I've been here almost 30 years from California. I never went back because this is the new paradise I found.
But you know what? When you look at Randy, you look at him, he's Filipino, and you're like, oh, local boy. And then he articulates, and you're like, oh, he's not from here. He's too articulate. But you know what's cool? You have more depth of knowledge of Maui real estate than even people that have born and raised there and lived there all their lives, because if they're not in real estate, it's not necessary that you've been there all your life that you know everything. And you're in it.
And what Randy wants to talk to us today about is this whole condo thing with the vacation.
Yeah,
like the resort zone, apartment zone.
Vacation, rental.
Right.
Yes. Get us up to speed. What is happening
Give
over
us
there?
the 411 on that.
Yeah, let me give you the 411 because it's sort of like a 911 situation, actually. So the good news is that for potential investors that have been wanting to get into the Maui market, now is the time. So, you never hear, the bell doesn't ring when it hits the top or the bottom.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, the bell is ringing right now because we are seriously at the bottom of the market. I've been here for, like I said, I've been doing real estate for almost 20 plus years here, and I've never seen this amount of supply that we've had right now. So just to say, for example, we currently have about 800 units for sale for condominiums, and a lot of these condominiums are what we call apartment zone Airbnbs. And what you need to know as an investor, that if you are interested in the Airbnb market, definitely you want to consider purchasing a hotel-zoned development versus an apartment zone. And similar to Honolulu, you guys have the resort zone. In Maui, we call it hotel zone.
Yes.
And yes, we do have a handful of hotel zone condos that are available, and they're priced to sell. The majority of them are. The apartment zone are priced below market. We're seeing prices as low as 20-30% below of what they were just a few years ago. And so definitely a lot of opportunity if you can ride out the situation we're having here for the next 5 to 7 years, I think you're going to come out a winner on either way if you are willing to do that.
Yeah, it's all about your ability to your risk assessment. Now, Randy is going to give you an awesome risk assessment, but we have this game we play in our radio show. We want to see how many times we can say unpack this. Let's unpack the apartment/Airbnb. I will start with an analogy. It's kind of like a mullet. It's party in the front, which is Airbnb, but it's all business. I'm flip-flopping
business in the front.
It's business in the front, apartment zone, but it's party in the back, Airbnb. How can people be doing Airbnb in the apartment zone? Like, how are they doing that right now? It's pretty much like everybody's doing it, so there's no crackdown?
So technically, there was a revision in the apartment zoning statutes where people that owned apartment zone had the ability to I wouldn't say zone them, but the ability to regulate them to do Airbnb. Back in the late 80s, there was a statute that allowed that. So majority of the buildings that were apartment zones said, you know what, this is a way for owners to utilize this regulation to their advantage. Yeah. And so that's what happened, back in the 80s. It was called the Minatoya Bill. And so a lot of these apartments were allowed to do it. But because of the recent fires in August of 2023, there was a shift in the Airbnb situation where the county and the mayor announced that because of the lack of housing, of workforce housing, that they needed to reassess the Airbnb situation and look at condos that might be able to, that they could pull back their licenses and give the ability for locals to probably purchase or rent them. Yeah. So that was the immediate need, was to find housing, and that's why they started this whole moratorium.
Yeah, so it's creating downward pressure on the apartment zone.
And some uncertainty.
But, Warren Buffett says it best: when people are uncertain, be enthusiastic, and when people are enthusiastic, be conservative. And so this is an opportunity for people to pick up some condos, and like if they pick up something right now if you pick up something in hotel zone, you don't have to worry about something changing down the road. It'll always be vacation rental.
Absolutely.
But you will be paying the retail price. So with a premium.
Yeah. Now, if you pick up the apartment
you'll be paying a premium.
Apartment zoned.
And then maybe you're going to
negotiations.
You're going to be it's like being at the craps table at California. Do you have my grandfather has a golden arm. That means you lasted 1 hour over there. But, so Randy, you're going to be and you're going to give them the 411 on everything, because there's opportunities on both sides of the situation. You just got to have somebody clearly point them out, which is what you do.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. And not everybody wants to buy an Airbnb. It's not for everybody, but for those that are definitely in that market and want to stay in that market, then we advise them to stick to the hotel zone. So that's the lane you want to stay in if that is your intention to keep it Airbnb.
Well, thank you for that update on there. I think we're going to have you coming, like a surf report, giving us an update as we progress through the year and what's happening with all of that. And getting you back on here more often to give us the Maui update, the real estate surf report.
Thank you, Randy.
You bet.
By the way,
thank you for the opportunity.
Every Friday at about 5:30, you can find Mr. Maui, Randy himself, down at Charlie Young Beach, watching the sun go down.
Yes.
Come join him for a glass of vino. Bring your chair and your awesome attitude, and you maybe you get an opportunity to go hang out with some positive energy, Mr. Maui, Randy Antonio himself. Charlie Young Beach.
Amen.
All right. Thank you, Randy.
Bye, Randy.
All right.
Aloha. Thank you.
All right. Next up, we got the Mr. Maui of luxury real estate. Who's that?
That would be, we have Dean Otto.
Dean Otto. And I think, Dean, you correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you have a solution maybe to this vacation rental thing, because that's what you're saying. You're like,
he's full of solutions.
He was on hold and he's like, I have a solution. I have a solution.
Biting my tongue.
Yeah. So tell us.
It's the truth, right?
Yeah. I mean, what you got for us?
Yeah, I think that that is a good point. I mean, Randy brought up a good point. You got the 7,000 apartment zone properties that are in jeopardy of losing their right to vacation rent, but. It's kind of a tricky one, because the apartment zoning never really had the right to rent.
Yes.
They just allowed them to rent and didn't enforce. So they're not really taking away, they're just enforcing.
Yeah.
But in any event, my theory is that vacation renting is not that great anyway. So
Yes.
people are fighting for something that's not that great, and there's a better option.
Yeah.
What we do know is that operating expenses have gone through the roof, and occupancy rates are down. So all of a sudden, it's not that sexy anymore to vacation rent. So while everyone's chasing, the right to vacation rent, we're talking about an alternative called co-ownership.
Yes.
Where instead of which co-ownership mitigates the need to vacation rent. Right? If you buy a 25% interest and have 3 months to use it, you don't need to worry about the expenses for all those months that you're not there.
Yes.
So, my point is, I wouldn't be so focused on vacation renting. It's not that great of a solution, but there is a great solution of becoming a co-owner in a co-ownership arrangement.
And Dean, to clarify,
I think.
and we hear this all the time when we talk about people, on all the islands selling their vacation rental. The reason they bought it as a vacation rental or did it is because they wanted to use it.
Yes.
But they was like, then we have all these headaches of all this Airbnb stuff. And so you have an alternative. Right. And talk about co-ownership. So and then what is here's a big one that comes up.
I think Dean also has some kind of relationship as well to help trade some of those days that you may. So if you have 3 months, right, you can trade one of those months with someone else. So
talk about
absolutely.
that.
That's a really good deal. I mean, to think that you could, if you have an $8 million house, let's say, and to think that you could buy 25% interest for $2 million, 3 months of use of it, and let's just say that you only used 2 months 1 year and you wanted to go travel around the world. We also have a partnership with a company called Third Home,
yes,
which is a home exchange. So theoretically, you could take some of your time, 2 weeks or 1 month, and you could put it into the home exchange, and that would give you use of one of their 40,000 homes around the world.
Yes.
Wow.
So not only are we offering you a chance to just invest $2 million in a house you're only going to use 2-3 months a year, but we're also giving you the flexibility of knowing that if you choose to, you can submit some time to the exchange for someone else to use your property, but have the right to go out and go to China or Africa next year.
Yeah.
And that's
really
that's a nice little workaround too, because here on Oahu we just have that 90-day minimum rule that has just taken into effect.
September 1st, 2025.
An exchange is not. There's no financial transaction. Right? There's no tax consequence. There's just a trade of homes. You know what I mean? It's like an owner guest. Because there's no financial exchange. So. It's a sort of it's not a workaround, but it's another great alternative.
It's a solution
to build into your home that you're not using some flexibility. And before it was just vacation rent. Now you can co-own a property with 3 other people. You can trade your time for use of other homes around the world. I think it's a different. We're in a different world, and I think it's. We need to find new products.
We need different solutions, for the current market conditions. Question for you, because people are like, "Oh, that sounds like fractional ownership." Tell the people why it's not fractional ownership. What's the difference?
Right. So fractional ownership would be 4 people co-owning a property in the sense that they each have their own deeded interest to the property. So there's like 4 individual deeds, which does not come with a lot of flexibility. And in most places like Maui, fractional is no longer allowed.
Yes.
So you just can't do that
anymore. By the associations.
But the difference is, 4 individual deeds, and in a co-ownership, it's a case of 4 members in an LLC. So there's just a single owner with a lot of flexibility. It means we can coordinate the sale, we can get agreement to sell together in the future, and we can stay in the lane of whole ownership. Versus fractional, which once you get a piece of a property, they're not easy to sell, and you're sort of stuck with it a little bit. No one wants to be stuck with a piece of a property. And so in co-ownership, you're a member in an LLC, and we can give you the assurance that with an agreement to sell together in the future, that you can stay in the lane of whole ownership when you sell it, which is where you make money, or not.
Now, Dean, we're going to be having a webinar.
No way. Did you say webinar?
This. Yeah, September 24th.
Yeah.
And I know that there's just a lot of different, questions and variables that come up with this.
Well, Dean's going to be going through the 21 irrefutable myths of co-ownership and busting every single one of them. Boom.
And we're going to be talking about just a couple of opportunities that we have right here on Oahu.
Right.
And I would say here would be the three people in the audience that would benefit from this. One, agents. You have a new way to.
Yes.
You have a new tool to add to your shed there of getting more customers. People who want to buy experiences, and people who want to hold on to their home but not have the headache.
They want to unlock some of their equity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think those are the people you need.
We're seeing a lot. Yeah, that's sort of the new trend that we're seeing, is that people coming to us, people who don't want to sell.
Yeah.
And we're doing a lot of them right now. And in fact, it's becoming the majority of our business, where we're clearing the debt out, getting rid of all the expenses, taking on partners, and moving forward with just 1/4 of the expenses as your only remaining cost.
Yeah.
Just simplifying things.
That's a big deal. I mean, for an agent, right? If you had a client who has an $8 million home who has no interest in selling, we try to talk them into taking on 3 partners and going into an LLC in a group and do that. And then why would they do that? Well, they'll get 6 of the $8 million back. Mm-hmm. That'd be a good reason.
Oh, yeah.
And then still get to experience the property.
And only 1/4 of the expenses.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't want 68 million back?
I think you're like Tylenol for the headaches of owning luxury partners.
Luxury homes.
Dr. Dean Otto is prescribing co-ownership. Take one a day and all your headaches will go away for your luxury. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys coming up with this because the number one reason why people sell luxury properties is they're not there full-time, but they have full-time headaches.
Right.
Yes.
And so they want the part-time enjoyment with part-time responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, great solution.
There's not really much responsibility there. Dean and his team handles
It's
that.
Anyway, you know what?
You need to enjoy it.
He's also the PhD in fun because it's maximizing your experience of fun, but not have all that headache of all year long ownership. So that's an awesome solution. Yeah. And
no one wants to pay bills. That's not fun.
And if you want Dean to stop by, have a martini with you and watch the sunset, he'll be happy to do so. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Dean.
Thank you, Dean.
Yes. And looking forward to the webinar.
Yes. Thank you, Dean.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Me too. Take care. Thanks.
Aloha.
See you soon.
All right. So if you want to go sign up for that webinar, go to teamlally.com/Kohana Homes.
Yeah, and that's spelled C as in Charlie, O as in I don't know, what was it? Ostrich? Oscar. Is that the police call sign? And then Hana, H-A-N-A, Hana, like Road to Hana. Kohana.
All right, so we are going to take a break.
No way.
But stay with us. Okay. When we come back, we'll be joined by Christopher Lum Lee of TriSec, Inc. He's going to give us an inside look at the security guard industry and where it's headed, the opportunities ahead, and the lessons he's learned along the way.
So stay with us.
Decades 107.9 playing the greatest music ever made. It's Mornings with Augie. Hey, you know someone that moved to the mainland but left the rental property behind? So Amber wanted to create a new investment opportunities on the mainland, but she had to sell her island rental first. So she reached out to our good friends Adrienne Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams, Honolulu. Handling the business virtually with Amber, Adrienne and Attilio came prepared with multiple 5-star selling strategies, including adjusting Amber's selling price expectations, and the home sold in days. If you're in a market to sell your home and you want a team that will make you the most money with the least amount of drama, you can trust our good friends Adrienne and Attilio of Team Lally. Give them a call today, 808-799-9596. That's 808-799-9596. They're trusted. You see these signs all over in my community. Visit teamlally.com today. That's teamlally.com today.
In today's fast-changing real estate market, you need access to the right information to make smart choices. I invest in real estate all over the country, and I rely on smart agents who know their local market inside and out. In Honolulu, I work with Adrienne Lally and Attilio Leonardi. Adrienne, Attilio, and their team sell a home every 72 hours and have over 750 5-star reviews. Go to teamlally.com and find out in just seconds what your home is really worth.
Hey, Sean Hannity here, talking with the only real estate agent in your market I recommend. Adrienne Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams, Honolulu. Now more than ever, buyers and sellers need an expert to navigate this ever-changing market. And what do you do to stand out?
Hey, Sean, we are a team with over 500 plus 4.9 star reviews, over 1,600 transactions under belt, and 20 years in the business. It's going to take a lot of resources to get a home sold today.
What kind of programs do you offer?
Sean, we offer the guaranteed sale, instant offer close in 12 days, 10K for upgrades, love it or leave it, no hassle listing. No matter what situation the client is in, we've got solutions.
Great update. Thank you for keeping us informed. Put the most experience and the best marketing to work for you. Call Team Lally now at 799-9596 or online at teamlally.com. That's teamlally.com.
Welcome back, and thanks for listening to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. I'm Adrienne.
And I'm still Attilio.
And if you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
Hey, before we bring on our guests, I want to do a shout out to Lally Tengan and Tanya Madera. They are the co-owners of Short Stack, and that's where I got this hat. If you guys are watching us online, what does the hat say, Adrienne?
It says, Aloha is dope.
Aloha is dope. Anyway, if you want some cool local gear, go to their shop in the Pearl Ridge. They're, what is it, Uptown? And they just had their grand opening like a couple of weeks ago. Alrighty, our guest today is Honolulu-born entrepreneur and community leader. After nearly a decade in the security guard industry, he founded his own company and grew it by seizing opportunities and expanding services. A proud graduate of Damien Memorial, UH West Oahu, and Chaminade University, he brings both education and experience to his leadership.
He also serves as chair of the city's Workforce Development Board and sits on the state's Hawaii Correctional Industries Advisory Committee, helping create opportunities for local workforce. Please welcome our guest, Christopher Lum Lee.
All right. Hey, Christopher.
Welcome.
Hey, guys. Great to be with you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. You know, I don't know if you remember, but I know we met at a networking event because I remember meeting you. I just don't know which networking event. I said, hey, let's talk about your business on our show. And here we are. Mm-hmm. So we got questions for you. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here's our first question. What do you think is the outlook? Well, how did you get into this business real quick? I know it's like not on the list of questions, but how did you get into this business?
Sure. So, some years back, I had a day job, and then I'm one of those people that doesn't like to have free time. So I ended up, taking on a second job doing security because it's not always entirely the most difficult of work, but it's also, depending on your job site and things like that. So spent something like 10 years or something like that at that job site. And then eventually, the company that I was with at the time was going to cancel the contract, and then I incorporated, got the licenses, and then took over the contract.
Cool. Yeah. So you were an employee that had an entrepreneurial heart. Mm-hmm. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then and then let's talk about this because everybody has perceptions of security guards is what's his name? Paul Blart.
Mall
cop. And it's I mean, that's a humorous interpretation of it, but you have the more serious part of it in that. So with that, then we'll lead into our regular question. What do you think is the outlook for the security guard industry here in Hawaii?
I think the demand is always going to be there. To a degree, demand is probably going to increase, I suspect, especially with the now that we have kind of more of the community concerns that we didn't have 10, 15 years ago. Things like interactions with homeless people, increase with more youth, gang-related types of crimes, and on top of your normal property crimes and your crimes against persons. So I think the demand's going to be there on the security side, on the physical security side, but there's also little pockets or sub-areas where a demand will increase as well. So, for example, a lot of properties can't afford to pay for a 24-hour security guard or an 8-hour security guard. So they do what are called spot checks, where security companies will go to different locations throughout the shifts and then check the location, make sure that everything is fine. And then on top of that, there are other
areas as well. Now, when we look at security, risk analysis, threat assessments, things like business continuity planning and disaster recovery, cybersecurity is kind of a big one, that there is a bridge forming between those two. So I do think the outlook is there not only on the entrepreneur side, but also on the workforce development side.
So,
probably answered part of this, but ask him anyway.
So where are the opportunities in the security guard industry?
Yeah, if you want to expand more on that.
If there's any more that you want to touch on, because you did kind of get into that. Yeah.
I think the spot checks are probably the best opportunity, just because, like I said, a lot of businesses, organizations can't afford to have a full-time guard assigned there. So there's definitely those opportunities there. Now, for the security companies, because each spot check itself is not the most revenue generating, it behooves the security companies to try to get as many of those as they can to try to really affect the profitability of that.
Yeah.
I do think the disaster recovery and the business continuity side is also a very interesting space, just because, there are more environmental concerns, and to really ramp up a lot of the utility of security guards, because those are areas that, to a degree, we have to know when we do the security guard trainings, and for everyone who has to get licensed in the state, is that they have to know at least a little bit about emergency preparedness and things like that.
You know what? Could you unpack disaster relief a little bit for us? What does that mean?
Sure. So a lot of businesses, right, don't really consider the possibility what happens if there's a major disruption with some type of. It doesn't have to be a disaster, but just general emergencies, right? So we're most familiar with things like hurricanes, floods, power outages, but then there are other things, right, like cyber attacks. We had the tsunami threat recently. Back in 2020, there was the lockdowns and things like that. So a lot of businesses weren't ready for that. And that put a lot of them at substantial risk, because they did not think of what happens if you don't have the revenue coming in from your daily flow of customers. But at the same time, rent's probably going to be due. You have to pay possibly state unemployment insurance still on wages. So there are those types of things to consider. So from a security perspective, it's good for the security companies to consider the possibility that expanding services to include things like business continuity planning or disaster recovery not only helps protect the clients and their employees, but also helps the businesses recover, or at least plan ahead to be able to recover from those types of emergencies.
Now, part B on that, you talked about the expanding utility of the security guards. Tell us more about that. What do you mean by utility?
Sure. So the traditional role of security really was to find issues on the properties, depending on your property type, of course. But they'll typically report on things like broken windows, unlocked doors, bad actors committing vandalism on the property, things like that. So now we've gotten kind of to a point, I think, where more clients or organizations and facilities need more services. So to expand the utility of guards would include upskilling, more training to provide more services to the clients.
So, Chris, you mentioned licensing. I didn't realize that security guards needed to have this licensing or special training.
Or did we hear that correctly? Is it true?
What kind of
licensing?
What does that look like?
Besides driver's license, so they can get to the job site.
Right. So prior to about 14 years ago, give or take, something like that, the only security-related licenses you had to have in the state of Hawaii is all security companies had to have a guard agency license, and then they had to have somebody that's called a principal guard, who would be like the key manager or the overseer of the employees in the company. And then security guards themselves did not have a license. Back in the early 2010s, the legislature created a law that said that everybody in the state of Hawaii who is acting in a guard capacity, which are security guards, had to have a specific license issued by Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs.
Gotcha. So DCCNA, just like us in the real estate industry, your principal guard is what we would call our principal broker, and they are responsible for all activities of people who have their license hung with them, known or unknown. And then now us realtors, we have a license, and so same thing is happening. You're just being licensed and regulated. Enforcement we know is RICO and all that good stuff.
Chris, with the shortage in the police force, do you find that like there's like a higher demand for security since like there's just less police out? What have you seen or noticed with that?
Yeah.
The demand for guards themselves have increased, but I think while the demand for guards has increased, the demand for certain skill sets has also increased.
Yeah.
Because there's less police officers, response time is very likely to be affected. So for security guards who are public facing and interact with people from various sites and spectrums, is that they need certain skills to be able to do things like de-escalate situations, to be able to provide more to accommodate that response time from police.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's how we respond or react in a situation. I know my personal experience, I believe I'm like 5'10", 170 pounds. I'm a skinny guy. I'm not your 6'2", 240 guy. And I was hired as a bouncer for Studebakers in the mainland, and they were like, "Why are you hiring me?" Because with the training and maybe my physicality, I'm more likely to talk the situation down than throw, throw the blows, which creates more liability and never ends well. So what you're doing is just creating more de-escalation training with these, with the people, because they're coming into high conflict situations, and their ability to handle that probably is good risk management and less liability if a guard's having that type of positive interaction, de-escalating, than having to go, DEFCON 11 on the people. And then waiting for the police to show up and all of that.
So, Chris, are you guys hiring?
Are you hiring?
Are you looking for more people for your workforce?
For my side, for our side right now, we're fully staffed.
Good,
but certainly all the other security guard agencies out there that I interact with, they're all hiring. There's a great demand for guards, but I think and sorry if I'm going to go run a little long on this response, but I think what a lot of people who get in the industry don't realize is that there is opportunity, when we talk about expanding services, also that a lot of the people who are running these security guard agencies now, they were guards, years back.
Yes.
So a lot of these guys a lot of us had worked together, and we'd come up and then ended up starting our own businesses. So, there is that opportunity there.
I noticed there's new. I was a Wells Fargo security guard in college. I was a terrible guard because I was like full-time day job, overnight security guard. I'm like, I didn't sleep for like 3 days in a row. I was like, and not the most alert guy. I was more Paul Blart than actual security guard. But what technology or what are the things in place to help you manage the quality of the vigilance? I'm having a hard time with that word. That's an indication I was a terrible security guard. What systems or processes do you have in place to keep these guards more vigilant in their in their on the job site?
For our site, for our clients, we're pretty lucky in the sense that certain client requirements there aren't certain requirements that other properties will have. So ours is very basic in that, as long as we keep track of the situations on our site, because where we're at, we're kind of responsible for watching particular equipment, making sure that it doesn't break down, or certain alarms and things like that. Another client, when we go over there, we have to do things like disarm the alarms when we get there, turn the alarms back on, make sure their equipment's functional and things like that. So that equipment relies on our checking it. If the equipment goes down, then we know that somebody wasn't doing something. Now, other sites, other security companies, they will have things like, in the olden days, I don't know if they still use this, but they had those scan buttons, and you had to go to each button and scan the button, and then they would download the data from that.
Yeah.
Right. So there's different variations of that now, is my understanding, that's kind of come up as technologies and evolved.
Mm-hmm. With what is your last question for you? And because we go so quickly on these shows, actually, I'm going to give the second to last one, and you give him the last question there. But my question for you, to help come from contribution for you as a business owner, what does your ideal client look like? Not like brown hair, blue eyes, and 5'10" and 160. Like, what kind of business? What kind of job site? Like, what does your ideal customer look like for you?
For ours, we like industrial facilities.
Okay.
Because there's more equipment, there's more machinery, so it's easier for us to ensure the accountability of making sure that our employees are actually checking those things.
Yeah.
The areas that we've targeted for our client, or as far as where our clients are located, they're kind of out of the way in the industrial areas.
James Campbell,
in Campbell area. So
Sand Island.
There's not right. So there's not much public interaction, which limits our legal liability, right? Because if you're public facing, then you run the risk of things like
interactions with human beings.
That and there's also if there's people around, depending on your location, you'll have things like use of force situations. You may, I would not want to take I'm not inclined to take a client in Waikiki, for example.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah, after 3:00 in the morning, you got all the liquid personalities all come out.
Right.
Yeah, and they know that's, I mean, I don't know if it's true, but it also statistically with full moons, the human beings seem to go a little nutty on full moons, more emergency room visits, etc. Adrienne, last question.
Yes, last question.
Last question.
Chris. What is your favorite lesson in business and life?
Yeah.
Collaboration, definitely collaboration. A lot of people will say relationships. I kind of elevate that to the business equivalent, which is collaboration. Within our own industry, we have a lot of people collaborating. Like, if we can't take on clients, we'll refer them to somebody that we have a relationship with. I work with some of the other security companies on guard trainings and things like that. So, we try to help each other out as much as we can, because a lot of other industries do that. So it's not, even though we are competitors to a degree, we're not out there trying to actively undercut each other or do things like that.
Yeah.
We call it co-opetition.
Co-opetition, but Chris, I think you're going to like this. It's one of my favorite quotes. It's an African proverb. If you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go together. You can totally rip that off. Give me royalties on the first mention, 25 cents. All uses thereafter are completely free. I lied when I said that was the last question. One last one. TriSec, TriSec. That's the name of your company. TriSec. I'm saying it a bunch of times so people can Google you and call you and get your service. How did you come up with that name for your company?
I think, so when we first started, we had the idea we were going to try to do 3 different services.
Yeah.
Right. We were going to start with guard service, patrols, and then guard training, and then of course the business. We did a whole bunch of pivots, so now we're doing that and some other stuff. Right.
So instead of like the 3 different things, you just focus on industrial.
Right. So we do the security, and then on top of that, we do other types of things with our business just to try to generate additional revenue for it.
Okay, so if The Rock comes in, you're not providing private security for The Rock, and The Rock is kind of his own security anyway, but you guys not doing like executive security and all that stuff?
We don't do personal protection or executive protection.
Gotcha. So I'm sorry, Rock, you cannot hire Chris and his crew.
You'll have to hire one of his friends.
Unless you own industrial property in James Campbell or something, and you want them to keep checking on it to make sure it's operational. But that's it. Chris, any questions we should have asked you that we haven't? Any funny stories? Anything you want to say? Dad joke? Whatever. What you got for us right before we finish?
I just want to thank you guys for giving me the time, for bringing me on, just kind of talk through a little bit, tell you a little bit about our industry and things like that. We got definitely, if people are looking for a job with job security and growth potential, definitely the security industry is a good one.
Okay. Check it out. So you've been very helpful for the industry. You've been very helpful for our listeners and maybe even some business owners that are out there thinking, hey, I can't afford the full-time stuff.
But the spot check sounds like a good solution.
I'm going to get Chris and his team to do drive-bys in a positive way to check on my stuff. And that's more affordable because it's the random checks that keep people in check. It's always it's tough. But thank you so much for being on the show. It was great meeting you at that networking event. I'm glad we had an opportunity to promote your business. And we always, if there's any other entrepreneurs out there like to be on the show, all you got to do is send us an email, info@teamlally.com. Chris, again, thank you for your most valuable resource, your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Aloha.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
All right. So we've got a few minutes left, and we're going to just go through our open houses. We've got quite a few.
Okay. Oh, wait. Hold on a second. I want to share one other thing here regarding guests. Don't forget to join us next week. We'll be talking with Barney Spix and Tran Vo of First Hawaii Title.
Ooh.
They'll be sharing their expertise on title and escrow process here in Hawaii and offering insights every buyer, seller, and agent should know. You won't want to miss it.
Okay, so we have open house on Saturday, September 20th, and Sunday, September 21st, 2 to 5.
All right.
So first open house, here you go.
Is 911340 Ipualono Street, Eva Beach. This is in Ho'opili. List price 1150, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,600 square feet, 5,000 square foot lot.
All one level, too.
All one level. So if you don't like stairs, this is the house for you. But what is this smart stuff?
All right, so smart financial move with a VA assumable loan at 2.25%.
You better say that interest rate one more time.
2.25%. And it's open to veterans and non-veterans.
Yep, and they got 18 owned PV panels. The PV panels are on the roof and we own it. We're creating electricity.
So both Saturday, Sunday, go stop by.
Saturday, Sunday, go into Ho'opili. You'll see the signs everywhere. That's over there by the Croc Center. Check it out. By the way, there are no new construction for single-family homes.
All of those are condos.
And very low or no inventory for single-family homes. It's all townhomes and condos. All
right, let's move on to on Sunday. 2 to 5. We've got one in Kapolei on Kamaha Avenue, unit number 10. This one's listed at $975,000, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 1548 interior.
Yeah, this is the Mehana community with open layout, fresh paint, landscape yard.
All right, next one is in town. This is the penthouse unit.
Oh.
Yes, at Imperial Plaza. Listed at $3,000,488,888. It's a 3-bedroom, 3.5-bath.
And then the square footage is 3298. A luxury Kaka'ako penthouse with panoramic views, high-end designer finishes. It literally feels like you're in a New York loft. This thing is beautiful.
All right, last one is in Eva Beach on Oniula Place.
Yep.
It's listed $1,015,000, 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath, 1660. So
Alrighty.
Come visit these open houses.
Yes, we got a palooza of them.
Yes, thank you for listening, and thank you to our sponsors.
Jody and Derek of Pacific Rim Mortgage.
Bradley of Allstate Insurance.
Kenji with Pillar to Post Home Inspection.
John with Kilauea Pest Control.
Duke with Hawaii Pacific Property Management.
Robinson Fine Line Paintworks.
Amphi Estate Planning Group.
Jason Wu, Attorney at Law.
Rhino, Hawaii Unified.
Janice of Dreamhouse Drafting.
Fabio with Hawaii Water Damage Restoration.
Kyle of Impact Wealth.
Brian with Cleanscape.
Benji, Hawaii Referral Agent.
And Danny with DHA Financial. If you want to get a hold of any of our sponsors, just go to teamlally.com.
We also want to give a big thank you to Leah Rodriguez, our producer here in the studio, and Sheen, our video producer.
Chee-hoo!
Make sure to tune in next week. We'll have an awesome guest talking about something that'll change your life.
Forever. This is the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed
Sold program. If we can't sell your home at the agreed upon price and time frame, we'll have it bought for cash.
Thanks and aloha. And aloha is dope.